Alrighty, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to this another real estate webinar that we do, Mastering Real Estate Excellence. So today, what did I want to cover? I know it's a small topic. It may seem like it's not important, what I'm about to mention. However, I get a lot of questions about it daily, in fact. When I show people, they never knew it ever existed. And so just wanted to show you what it is, our libraries. We've got a couple of libraries, so I wanted to kind of show you the difference between them, and then the small little things between them. So what we're going to learn right now is more things about the libraries, where you can find them, what's in them, what you can do with them, how people are using them, right? Just so that people are aware about our libraries, right? Because we've got a couple. We've got action plan libraries, we've got a message template library, and we also have your own personal library, right? So all have their function. So let's take a deep dive right now, and let me share my screen with the CRM in question. Yeah, let me go ahead and move myself. There we go. So, 3 libraries. We mentioned action plan, we mentioned message templates, and then we mentioned your own library. So let's talk about action plan library. Where you can find the action plan library is at this Thunderbolt. Now, if you know that you're going to be going to action plans, you can just click the Thunderbolt. It'll take you straight to action plan. So if you already know that you're going to action plans and you want to immediately get there, hit the Thunderbolt. That'll take you to action plans. If you needed to get to any of these other options, then yes, pause on the hover, and then you'll get the options and you can select them. So our action plan library, that is here, import action plan. This button is where our library is, right? So to have access to the folders in which we have our pre-made action plans for real estate agents is under this import action plan. When you click it, it will go to the import action plans area. You don't see anything because there's nothing in the default folder, which is just a simple default folder that this category has. But the other folders do have, right? And when you import a action plan from any of these folders, it will also import that same folder as well. So self-explanatory, but just for you to, know that that's what's going to happen, because you may already have a holidays folder or a folder for something that either is holidays, special days, or anything like that. So if that happens, you may have to pull it out of that folder and reorganize it, which I can show you how to do that as well. So now that we know that if we use any of the action plans and we import them, that it's going to take the folder with it as well. Now we can go in to these and we can figure out which ones we want by switching through the folders, right? Now, I want to correct myself. There's like another library, right? An action plan library, but not the ones that we provide, the ones that you have either utilized from our own library or the ones that you've created for yourself, right? So how do you access your library is same place, right? Action plans, but under view action plans. And under view action plans, you get the same look, same user interface per se, and you get this add new folder button. So you can, with this, create all kinds of different folders for all kinds of different scenarios. Just a real quick, easy click, create it. Then you'll see that it's dropped down here, and then you can add any action plan to any of these folders and organize it in an appropriate way, right, for you, so that you can then get to these action plans quickly and not have to fumble when it comes to quickly activating one of these action plans if you haven't already, thought of auto triggering, right? So I find that if you're not auto triggering, having some organization is going to help you quickly get to these action plans, use them, whether if it's in group or whether if it's an individual. So real simple. Not too much to explain when it comes to this. However, there's two libraries, right? The import action plan library and your own, the one that you can create. And so as you can see here in my default folder, there's a bunch of stuff, right? And how would I move any of these into other folders is by clicking on the three dots, and you get these options. We would go to edit basics, and in edit basics, you can drop down and select the folders. So with this is how you can not only edit the action plans basics, but you can actually move it from one folder to another, right? So if I move it to nurture and I hit save, I thought it was test one. Where are we? Nurture. 1 second. Yeah, it was here. Oh, so we were already in the folder. That was what it was. Okay, so good. Here's the test. If we go back to default, no longer is it in my default, right? It has now been moved to holidays. No, nurture. Sorry about that. I'm going crazy. So yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else. Of course, you can sort by like creation date, action plan name. If you saved any of these tags upon creating it, you could search by just closing, just buyer, just seller action plans, if that's what you wanted to do. But this is both action plan library from us, from Fieldnotes, and your own. And I don't really see anything else here to mention when it comes to strictly, obviously, library, right? I mean, obviously, you can create all the folders you want to have your organization. You can view and you can create new action plans and you can import them, right? So that's just a real quick action plan library. Now we can discuss the message template library. And so, whoops, I did it again. So for this one, you got to hover, go to message template. And this one is kind of self-explanatory as well, even though it seems kind of simple. I get a lot of people asking me questions about this. So might as well leave a video. That way, if anybody else doesn't know about these, then now they know. So in message templates, it takes you to our library. And in our real estate library, we have a couple of documents that I've created, right? How to help you create an action plan 8x8. So definitely there's two different scenarios when customers are engaging, when they're not engaging. So they have a little bit of a spin on them, but this helps you create an 8x8, whether if it is in an action plan or if it's, like a physical 8x8. This is just something to put into perspective when it comes to attracting people and, doing it in a natural kind of organic way. An 8x8 will definitely help anybody, turn them from just maybe somebody that you've seen around town to now an acquaintance and somebody that you can hold a conversation with and recall details and past, interactions and things like that, and, move to the friend zone, right? Because in real estate, the friend zone is the best place to be. So these two 8x8 help you with that. We've got the 33 touch program. So from when you've met these people, you now can put them on a 33 touch program. And by doing that, now you're always following up. So by always following up with them and sending them your content when they're ready and when they need your services, I'm pretty sure that they're going to reach out to you and, ask you for help. The other one is referring clients. So this helps you kind of create a plan to refer families and friends, from your clients. I've had a lot of conversations with agents, and even though this is a well-known topic to everybody, everybody knows that they should be asking their clients for their friends and family, right? When investigating a little bit more about the topic with agents, they know about it. They know extremely how important it is. However, they haven't worked it into their system when closing that they're setting these things up, whether if it's in some type of action plan, that would go over the time of the closing or when finished, then another action plan that would go over a couple of weeks, would have a campaign with emails and text messages explaining and, talking about how the best way to say thanks to you is to refer family and friends and things like that. And so a lot of people know about it, but a lot of people fail to execute it. So this is something in which if you bring it into your CRM and you make it part of your, your system, maybe you'll be more on top of it and get people to respond in that way. So that's something that we've also provided. Well, what is this one? Oh, this is like what to do after the 8 weeks. So within these folders, you'll see that there's emails. These aren't intended for you to email these to people. These are really kind of speaking to you about the topic at hand, which is what do you do with these people after you've done an 8x8 and you created that connection? What's next? What should I do to keep these people in the know? So this will help you with that. So this is something that I put together to help agents that if they had any kind of question about these topics, well, then here's a little bit of some information that could possibly help you build out your system. And then so whenever we have any content and we put this, we'll go ahead and add it into the folder and give it its own folder's name. But now that is our real estate library, right? And the content that lives within. Now let's talk about your message template library and what this is intended for. So not only is this for all the different kind of canned responses that you may have with your customers, but you could have also you could brainstorm action plans. You can create just like a miscellaneous folder in which you are putting a bunch of communications together. So then you can then go into action plans and import from your message library, right, from your template messages into the action plans to kind of build and stack your action plan to kind of build it quicker instead of building out the action plan and then each individual communications. You'll do it from message templates, build out all of the independent communications, and then you'll go and build your action plan by just basically plugging and playing. So that's a good feature when you're thinking of concepts and when you're just brainstorming stuff. Sometimes it's best just to kind of just throw everything into a folder and then make sense of it a little bit later when you're kind of putting things together. That's kind of how, and how I use, that's one of the cases how I use it when trying to create action plans or when putting things together. So once again, new folder button, you can create new folders to your heart's desire. They will show up below our library. You can see the ones with locks are our library. The ones without locks are your library. One things with these folders is they have subfolders, and then you can have content within the subfolders. Let me see if I have any. Okay, like this one, you'll see that we have follow-up and we have 4 emails for follow-up, right? But let's say that this email, now that I read it, really isn't kind of like a follow-up email. It's an email for something else, right? So one thing you can do once you have a bunch of folders and a bunch of content is you can drag and drop, right? So you can open up this folder, and if it's this, I can drag it and I can take it to that folder. It's going to ask me if I wanted to move it and clarify that I'm moving it. And then now it gets moved. And then now I can go to my blog and I can open up here. Let me see if it's because I have it open. Is that why? Let me see. Let's click something else. All right. Let me just close this library and let me drag this one here. Are you sure you want to move? Yes. And I want to do it to the default blog. So yes, do the move. And let's go to the default blog. And it's not working. So let me refresh. Let me do one of those hard refresh. And let me open up the follow-ups. Let me drag one that's not a draft. Let me have to open up this one. Let me drag this one here. inspection, and let's see. There it is. Okay. So I think it had something to do with the draft one that I was pulling over. However, I will be speaking with the developers to fix that. However, in a perfect world, right, you can simply drag and drop. You can drag, you'll get a notification of the move, and then you'll see that that email now goes into that folder. And you can do this to organize your folders and your emails and your text messages, right? A little bit easier than having to edit and delete and create in those folders. And so know that you can drag and drop. Not many people knew that they could do that. And when I do show them, they're happy to see that I'm about to save them a lot of time when it comes to organizing their library. So this is the what, how many, so this is obviously the message library. This is your own personal library. So these are of the two. We saw the action plan, that was the three, and then the fourth one, the action plan library for your own personal action plans. So that is a simple topic. It's unique how you use this, like how it's not to say unique how you use it, but you can get unique, like in the way that you use this, right? So for message templates, I have all of my canned responses, personal. When doing customer service, tech support, you always have, the can you reset my password kind of requests, and it's always the same, go around when it comes to emailing and addressing those types of requests, right? So I'm going to assume for a real estate agent, you have those same types of questions and concerns from people. I'm pretty sure, it's the same stuff, right? Especially if you're a seasoned real estate agent, you're going to find yourself saying the same thing over and over. Why not create folders, right? So that you can keep all of those communications so that you can just quickly address that somebody's maybe going through something and then just have an email for that. That I definitely would think people would respect you and look forward to your emails knowing that you have some helpful information to help them, right? Let's say, your favorite list of contractors. Let's say, you know, there's a lot. I've seen a lot of agents have ebooks, right? You could have, an email with links to your ebooks and specific topics, and just have it ready to go. So it's not you spending minutes, hours, putting things together just for a one-off email that this person may never reach back to me or not. So why not invest the time once, and then if you did need to edit at the moment of using the template, you're always given that opportunity where you can edit the template before sending it out. So you always have that option if you needed to. So knowing that, you can build, one email generically. One thing I used to do was I would have one email about one topic, but within that topic, I would always find myself walking into 3 or 4 different scenarios, which always would require me to have 3 or 4 different emails kind of ready to go. So what I did was I would write the 3 or 4 different emails that needed to be, right, that had the 3 different, that had the different answers. And what I would do is I would just put all of them in that same email. And when I would come to the issue at hand, I would go to my template email, I would use that email, and I would have the 4 or 3 different scenarios that I would always walk myself into. And then I could pick which one, delete the first 2, leave me with the third one, address the name, quick dates and details update, and then ship out the email. And I was able to email on the behalf of a company all of the requests that were to come in by myself to a company managing thousands of clients. I was able to just sit there and be able to ship out these canned responses. And grammar was always correct, details were always correct. When I was doing it, I had to put in, the first name, but here we have smart tags, right? So you can use smart tags for a lot of different stuff so that you don't have to, constantly edit these templates. You can just use the smart tags and it'll pull the information from the contact. So I really feel message, well, our libraries, not only do they help you with the content that we have available for you to use, but if you were to build your own library and have all of your preloaded, signatured, well vetted emails ready to go, I would say this is your video so that you can kind of know the little tricks and nuances of what it is libraries. It's not too much like creating folders, being able to move. Now it's more about just being organized and kind of how you do that. Everybody's different. But I'm pretty sure that if when put into practice, you'll find yourself being extremely resourceful, faster, right, to address these issues and to get things done. So this is what I had, for you guys this week. Like I said, I know you guys are extremely busy. Real estate agents are one of the most busy people that I've ever met. So I can understand how sometimes it might not be possible to show up to these events. But if you do, and or if you have an issue you want to bring, I would love to discuss any issues anybody's having or openly discuss maybe strategy, things like that. This is a perfect place to do so. So I definitely thank everybody for tuning in to this episode. And I don't see why next week we won't have another one going. So I will definitely see you guys next week, the 31st. It was a pleasure having the opportunity to show you guys our feature libraries and how you can use them in your day-to-day and hopefully achieve excellence in your field. So definitely thank everybody. You guys have a great day. It was a pleasure. Don't forget to subscribe, to comment below, hit the notification bell so you can stay notified. So you can stay notified of all of the upcoming new videos that we have. So I thank you guys. Have a great day. It was a pleasure. You guys take care. Ciao, ciao.